Welcome, Joyager. In today's video, we're going to be doing an entire NFT beginner's guide. All the fucking lingo, all the words, all the explanations. I'm going to recommend that you watch this entire video because every bit from the beginning to the end is just as important as the other. And the reason you're going to have to stay till the end is because I did not put these in order in any way, shape, or form. And there's like 45 things here. And there will be a second follow-up video where I do physical step-by-steps, how to set up a MetaMask wallet, how to actually mint a project, how to physically do the things that I talked about in this video, so you can look forward to that. Anyways, guys, if you're appreciating the consistent uploading, I've been going every single day. There hasn't been a day missed, and I'm not really looking to miss any days. As you guys know, the goal of this channel is to instill the knowledge and confidence it takes to navigate this metaverse on your own one day. So if you're excited to get in this video, smash that thumbs up button for me so I know. It only takes 1 second. All the content I put out there is free. And subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss any other videos. And apparently the bell and the subscribe thing doesn't always work, so make sure you're following me on Twitter and in my Discord because I always put out all my alerts for videos out there. Now let's get into the video. Don't worry, I didn't lose the glasses, they're here. They just can't fit when I'm wearing a hat, and I just feel like wearing a hat today, so we're gonna go no glasses. Now, if you're new to my channel, I actually have an entire NFT beginners playlist on my channel. You can go there, this will definitely be in there, and this is probably gonna be the most important YouTube video you ever watch for NFTs. I'm gonna go as fast as I can because this could potentially turn into like an hour-long video. So first up, we have whitelist. What the fuck is whitelist? Whitelist is basically, you know, on Black Friday when there's a million people in line, pretend that there's a mint launch. So a mint is when the NFT is first coming out. It's basically like the first day, like launch day, right? So whitelist is basically you get to get shot to the front of the line. You get to go into the pre-sale before the public sale starts. So very similar to Black Friday, you just get pushed to the front of the line. You don't have to fight over like too many people in the store. You get to peacefully shop and you don't have to worry about gas wars most of the time just because there's not that many people. Now, what are gas wars? First, let me explain what gas is. So there's no banks, right? Everything's decentralized in the NFT crypto world. So there are these miners that do these transactions for you so you don't have to manually like code all this shit and do all the work. So you have to pay these miners, and these are just computer systems and computer software programs that people have been using for years. The more transaction happening at the same time, the more volume at the same time means that the gas goes up. And so if you get into the public sale and everyone's trying to mint and buy that first NFT, that new NFT, the gas is going to be extremely expensive and can get up to the thousands. So the best way if you're going to participate in mints is to get on the whitelist or get into pre-sales. How the hell do you get on those? You go on NFT Twitter. What is NFT Twitter? NFT Twitter is basically, I'll just tell you right now, go to my Twitter and follow everybody I'm following. That's a good start. NFT Twitter is simply just where all the stuff is happening. It's basically the forum where everything happens. Something you guys should know also about gas fees is gas fees can fail. You can have a failed transaction because someone bought right before you click buy and you just lost your whole gas fee. Could have been $100, could have been $1,000. You lost that money forever and you just took an L. That's all it is. And you say, fuck, and you move on. That's just part of the game. In the same way a ref calls a stupid call, you're like, bro, you just ruined the whole game. It's like, well, the ref's call is part of the game. You have to factor that in and you can't get that mad. It happens to everybody. I've lost thousands of dollars in gas fees. And since this has to do with gas wars and gas fees, we'll talk about the max fees. So when you do a transaction, something's going to pop at the bottom with like your total, and then at the bottom is going to have a max fee. So this is what the gas fee could potentially get up to, and that's where the cap is. So if it's really, really busy, there's a chance you might get charged the full max, but if not, you'll just pay what your normal total was. I don't really pay attention to that because it's just so small details. If you're having to worry about a couple $100 here and there, you should not be using money to buy NFTs, and you definitely should not be minting NFTs. I'm going to say this right now. If you're minting projects, I'm going to assume that you have many hundreds of dollars at your disposal that would have gone to waste otherwise, like at bars or whatever. Like that's the money you should be using for minting, especially now that a lot of projects have minted. A lot of projects suck right now. What you should be doing is focusing on education, watching my videos, learning what makes a good project, deciding and identifying those projects, and waiting for the market to crash, and then you buy in. This is basically the bread and butter of my channel. I talk about projects that are good, I talk about things you need to look for in good projects, and then I just let you loose, and you guys find them, and it's really not that hard. Once you get the foundations, once you understand what I'm really trying to tell you, finding projects that are good aren't really that hard. They really aren't. It's really a matter of buying with conviction, holding, because short-term volatility is just a given in the NFT space. If you buy something and tomorrow it drops 45%, you need to just accept that awful gut feeling of like, oh, fuck. Just accept that, because that happens every day. And just when that happens for me, what I do is I just pretend I didn't buy it. I literally just say, oh, you know what? I bought here. And I'll just wait, because if you bought into a good project, eventually the value goes back up. And you need to ask yourself why you're buying NFT projects. The reason I buy NFT projects is because I find teams, communities, and projects that I want to be a part of. And that's all that I think about. I don't think about the money I can make. I don't think about the connections I can make from it, or what I can get from this person or that person, or how I can flex. Like, I just bought into Bungie project, a project I'll be reviewing tomorrow or today. And it's a project that I want to be a part of because I was able to interview their CEO. I really like what he had to say. I loved everything about the project. It was actually a project I've been wanting to get in since Mint. It was too expensive at the time. And I invested in that project, not with the idea to flip. That is why I buy. If that is why you buy, that's totally fine, but that's something you have to decide for yourself before you start investing in NFT projects. I have a 5, 10, 20-year vision. I have ideas in the metaverse that I want to pull off. That's why I invest. I don't invest to flip things and buy and sell. That's not what I do. This channel is just to instill knowledge, information, education, and talk about things without bullshit. No shills, no stupid promotions, no 1000x coin videos. That's not really what I'm about. Another word that has to do with the whole minting process is pre-reveal, post-reveal. So I'm sure you guys have heard of this. Pre-reveal, all that means is a lot of NFT projects, when you buy them, especially the collectible profile picture NFT is one with like 10,000 like NFTs in them. A lot of them have a couple days to a couple weeks of pre-reveal, meaning that they're all going to be randomized and you won't know which one you got. And so typically people like to gamble. So if you don't know this is something you need to know. Most people who are minting are rich and are gambling, meaning that they've bought 40 and they're gambling that they got a rare one. That's what you do when you're pre-reveal. So if you're not rich already, this isn't really something you want to mess with unless you want to make money. So typically people will sell pre-reveal before everything is saying, before the metadata like refreshes and says, oh, here's the one you got. If you're trading and buying pre-reveal, the chances of you having higher prices there are going to be higher than post-reveal, because post-reveal, you know which ones are commons, you know which ones are rares, and the value of yours could go down from what it was at pre-reveal, just because now it's like, oh, you got a common. I'm not going to spend this extra money as a gamble because I know it's a common. All right, NGMI and WAGMI, not going to make it, and we are going to make it. Those are just terms, stupid lingo we say. It's just like chants, like we're going to make it, you're not going to make it. Like people say not going to make it when someone sells a lot, and they say paper hands. What is paper hands? Paper hands is someone who sells typically early and did it because they didn't know what they were doing. That's typically what it is, but paper hand has become the term for anybody who sells ever, which is stupid. If you're calling someone a paper hander because they sold, you're an idiot because you have no idea what their situation is. Everyone has their own shit going on. Just keep your head down. Be part of the community, but don't try and impede on other people because you have no idea what's going on in their life. Now, diamond hand is the total opposite. Diamond hand is what I practice most of the time. I buy and I just fucking hold. I really don't touch most of my NFTs. 75% of my NFTs in my wallet have not been touched since I bought them. Here's another buzzword, shill or shilling, SHILLING. Shilling is when you're just promoting. It's just promotions. Like you're saying, buy this, buy that, because this. Like that's all it is. So when you see stuff like, hey, you guys should buy this is the best project ever, that's called shilling. Okay, let's talk floor price. Floor price is simply the lowest someone is willing to take for an NFT project. Floor price is not, let me repeat this. Floor price is not the value of a project. It is the value of the project at that moment, that 1 minute moment, because the floor could be one Ethereum right now, and in 2 hours it could be 5 Ethereum. It is not a representation of the full like functionality of the project, what the project's doing. It just depends on what one person at that moment will take for an NFT. So you hear terms like snipe the floor, sweep the floor. Sweeping the floor is basically someone with a lot of money buying up the entire floor, because if you buy all of them at 1 Ethereum and the next one up is 1.3, then after they're all bought, the floor technically changes to 1.3, which technically influences the value of the project, which I've just told you in debunked. That's not actually true. It's just a way that a lot of projects will do. A lot of NFT projects will use their DAO, like their money that they have from the mint, and use some of that to sweep the floor just to keep kind of people just like entertained, or just like, it's mainly just a short-term like attention grabber thing. It's really pretty meaningless, honestly. Sniping the floor is a little bit different though. Sniping the floor is when you do your research, you're staying on top of it, you're keeping a close eye on a project, and you're looking for a certain trait in an NFT, and sometimes times people will sell an NFT at the floor at the cheapest price and not realize they have a very rare trait. Meaning, so when you sell an NFT, look at all your traits and click on each trait and see what the cheapest NFT going for that trait is, and that is your floor price, okay? If you have an NFT with a fucking Cyclops eye, right? And Cyclops eye is one of the rarest traits, you're not gonna wanna sell that at the floor where a lot of NFTs without a Cyclops eye are, because you're just losing money basically. So sniping the floor is basically capitalizing on someone being an idiot. All right, so here's another way you can mint projects. It's called a Dutch auction. A lot of projects have done this in order to avoid a gas war. Essentially, they start the price really, really high. A lot of them do 1 Ethereum up to like, I've seen 5 Ethereum, and it drops by like 0.5, 0.15, 0.2, whatever, every like hour or two until it gets to like really, really cheap, giving all the people that really, really want to be in the project an opportunity to buy at a much lower volume level. It's not like a big influx of people trying to buy at the same time. And it's a way to, yeah, it's more fair. I like this idea. I'm a big fan of Dutch auctions. All right, here's my favorite words: utility and function and ecosystem. People love the word utility. Utility for me is just short-term attention grabbers, short-term little nuggets, you know, for people to be like, oh, I knew it, I picked a good project. And if that's the mentality you have in NFTs, I'm going to be totally honest, unless you evolve and mature out of that stage, because everyone goes to that stage, including me, you will not make it. You need to be evolving to a point where you're thinking a little bit more long-term and functional. I like the word functionality, because it's a little bit more legit. Utility is very short-term for me. Your utility is stuff like breeding, staking, okay? Most of those aren't gonna work. It's just good buzzwords to get people excited about the project. Functionality is something that's legit, something that actually works. For example, I'll just use Bungie Project because I just talked about them and I just did an interview with the CEO yesterday. Functionality is when something actually has real utility, okay? And I know I just used the word utility for short term, but functionality is when something works in an ecosystem, typically in their project. So with Bungie Project, you can actually like trade in some of your NFTs sometimes for real life art. With biopills, if you have a certain NFT, it gives you access to another part that you can only have if you have that first NFT, and that's legit functionality. But again, functionality only works if the brand is there. So Bungie Project, Doodles, Creature World, Dogepound, like those projects have real brand, and those are the projects where functionality is possible because people want to be part of the project. The NFT market versus the crypto market, they're different. They're very different, okay? They're still both like decentralized or whatever, but as the crypto markets go up, typically NFT markets go down, and that is just because as Ethereum goes up, gas fees go up, Ethereum is more expensive, meaning your NFTs are worth more technically in US dollars. So a lot of people take profits when the Ethereum is up, meaning NFTs value is going down. The floor price typically goes down. This is when you want to be buying NFTs, is when crypto and Ethereum is breaking all-time highs, NFTs are dropping, that's when you should be buying. And as Ethereum cools down and goes down, NFTs typically have a pump up. That's when you typically get out of the projects if you wanted to make some money. That's when you want to sell before Ethereum goes right back up. Discord roles. So in your Discords, a lot of the Discords you're in, you'll realize that a lot of people have different color names, and that's because they have different roles. Roles usually vary from like holders to people who have been on the whitelist, people who have been in since like 100 members. They have different roles. And a lot of the times they're kind of just arbitrary. They're just like, hey, you just get to be this role. And it's more of just like a social status thing. Like, hey, like I have a cool looking watch. It's kind of like that. So most of the time it doesn't really have any real effect. Sometimes it's more just an exclusivity factor. All right, the phrase "to the moon" just means fucking the project's going to the moon. It's going up. It's gonna win. Typically, any project that says that is not going to the moon though. All right, what's a roadmap? A roadmap is just a blueprint of what they plan to do in the future. It's not set in stone. It's basically the direction that they're trying to take the project. I'm a fan of projects not revealing everything. I like when they just say, look, this is what we're trying to do. Here's some of the things, and just leaving it at that. Because if you promise too much, chances are you're gonna under-deliver. Flipping versus investing. Flipping is something I don't really do anymore. Everyone used to do it. I think everyone did it at the beginning, and a lot of people like to do it because it gets them money, it gets them views, it gets them clout, if you like call it. Problem is, a lot of influencers call it, but it's only going up in price temporarily because they talked about it. And that's, you know, after a couple of months of watching YouTubers, you'll start to realize that's pretty much all of them, and that's why I made this YouTube channel. Because once you get to a certain point, it doesn't matter if the project's good or not. If you're famous and you say, oh, I like this project, it's gonna go up in price, and a lot of people, the influencers that you're like taking advice from, are just dumping on you as soon as you start buying. Investing is what I do. So there's different types of investing. There's thesis-based investing from Elio Trades, which is what I do, which is just I buy with conviction when things are cheap, and I just wait a lot of times. I just sit. I don't really take profits that much. unless we're like in Q4, like right now, I'll be dollar costing my way out, which is basically just selling in chunks as we go up and the price keeps going up. I'll sell in chunks. I don't sell all at once. I don't buy it all at once. So yeah, I do long-term thesis-based investing. I develop an idea, a plan, a strategy, and I stick with it. And sometimes that strategy is a 5-year plan. HODL is the same as diamond hands. You're just holding. HODL means like HODL forever. That's what a lot of people say. But yeah, these words like HODL, diamond paper hands, those things, they're just stupid. It's just a way for people to like mess with each other. Some people really get upset about it, and you just need to take a broader perspective here, okay? You don't know anyone's idea. You don't know anybody's life. You don't know why they do things. It's not really fair for you to just assume things, in my opinion. Brand. This is something I talk a lot about. Now, this isn't just NFTs, but brand, this is the thing you need to focus on. This is one of the most important things I'll say this whole video. Brand is the most important thing for NFT projects. Projects like Bungie, like Dogepound, like Ugaverse, like Creature World, like Doodles. There's not that many of them, okay? Bored Ape Yacht Club's another. Brand, in the most simplest way explainable, is just the idea that people fuck with this project because. Why? Because the team is really good, they're very engaged, they have cool art, they do events, they hype up the project to a point where you want to be part of it. For example, Gymshark. Excellent job branding themselves. People want to own Gymshark because it looks cool, it makes them feel good to be part of the project, they got a lot of famous people on it, a bunch of things, right? But brand is the most important thing. Doing videos, doing live streams, doing interviews, that's all the things that NFT projects should be doing. If you're in a project and the team has never done an interview before, has never done an AMA, like a live stream talk, Q&A, anything like that, that's a problem. Oh, that's another one. AMA, Ask Me Anything, it's basically just a Q&A. Wrapped ETH versus ETH. So Wrapped ETH is WETH and ETH is just ETH. Wrapped Ethereum people use to make bids. So it's a strategy that a lot of flippers use to basically they lowball people, and Wrapped ETH is the only thing you can do to use that. You can't actually use your normal Ethereum. There's no point in getting super technical with it. Wrapped Ethereum, you just have to transfer your Ethereum and like basically swap it for Wrapped Ethereum if you're planning on making bids and stuff. It's actually a really good strategy. I'm just too fucking lazy and I don't feel like going through all those steps to bid. Especially since I think so long term, me buying something for 0.7 versus 0.5 is not a big deal to me. Okay, we got burning, bridging, breeding, staking, all those things. So we're gonna talk about it right now. So burning is the act of literally getting rid of the NFT in exchange typically for another thing that you want. And so another example of that is Ethereum. So as a way to increase the value of Ethereum and decrease the amount of Ethereum out there, they've been burning it. Meaning it goes literally to nothing. It turns into nothing, which increases the value of the Ethereum that's left over. Another example is if there's 5,000 NFTs and you burn 2,000 of them, there's only 3,000 now. Meaning there's only 3,000 now. Meaning not as many people can get it, so the price will likely go up. The value of everything goes up when there's less. Of course, that only works if the branding was right and people actually want the project. Breeding and staking, these two go hand in hand most of the time. Typically, when you stake an NFT, that is when you take it off OpenSea or wherever you bought it from, and you take it off, you're not selling it, right? And instead of just keeping it unlisted on OpenSea, the project says, hey, put it on our staking website, and we'll give you X amount of tokens in exchange for it, and you can use those tokens to either swap them out for Ethereum and get money, or you can use it to breed, which is what a lot of projects do, where you'll get like a companion NFT. Spacepunks did this, Dogepound did this, Ugaverse is doing it, a lot of projects are doing it. Breeding only works, and the breeding NFT that you get from it only holds value as long as the brand is strong enough and people actually want it. Meaning that breeded NFT has to have some type of functionality in the system. Now, the shit part about staking and breeding and all that shit is typically, most of the time, you're gonna lose money staking, okay? Unless you want to stake because you really just want that breeded NFT, for a lot of them, it's not worth it. You're gonna lose more money staking and unstaking because you have to pay a gas fee each time, and right now gas fees are expensive. Like right now, I wanna migrate my 2 Ugaverse NFTs to their official smart contract so I can start staking and getting my DMT token, but it's gonna cost me $150 US dollars each because of the gas fee. So typically if you're gonna stake, just wait till like 1 or 2 in the morning and then look back at the gas fees, and that's a much better way to get a better price. Remember FOMOing? Ah, shit, I didn't tell you about it. FOMO is basically fear, uncertainty, and doubt. FOMOing in and out of stuff is basically panic selling, panic buying. It's what the typical person does at the beginning. They see news, it's bad, they sell, they say news is good, they buy. You should be doing the total opposite. If there's bad news, that's when you buy. If there's good news, that's when you sell, because that's how you make money. And so FOMOing in relation to staking and unstaking is that, look, You missing a day or two or a few hours, it's not going to make a huge difference, but you have to think long term. To win in NFT land, you have no choice but to think long term. And that's what my NFT, and that's what my channel is about. I want to instill that slowly. I want to instill that type of thinking in you by you just watching my videos continuously and seeing how I think. I want you guys to start investing with that mindset because it's just so much more effective. All right, another funny phrase people use is when, like WEN, and then just anything like when moon, when Lambo, when this, when that. When something just is like a stupid joke, like when is this gonna happen already? Like when am I gonna get the Lambo? When whitelist? Where whitelist? And it's just stupid like game talk, you know, it's whatever. And you'll see some projects have a Genesis collection. A Genesis collection simply means the first. It's typically the most valuable, the key, the access key to all the future mints. A lot of projects have like a system of like, if you own this first Genesis piece, you get to mint all the ones after for free, or you get all these added benefits. And it's something good to be in if you're in a Genesis project, as long as the rest of the project in the future does well. Now there are multitude of different marketplaces. There's IMX, Immutable X, which is no gas fees. There's Solana, which is basically no gas fees. And then there's also like Ethereum, which is a lot of gas fees, but there's also way more demand and volume. So Solana and Immutable X are able to do it with no gas fees, but we don't know how much that can scale. Solana earlier this year basically crumbled to nothing when they had like a lot of people on at the same time. Not a good sign. So Ethereum is more expensive, but it's also way more established and more tested and, you know, tried. And so for people asking how to mint, I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't know how to mint, you need to be not minting. Seriously, that's not a shot at you. You just need to be not minting. But super quick, they'll send out a website basically on mint day and say, go to this website. You connect your wallet to it and you click mint. Mint means buy. It basically just says buy a new one, like buy the first of it. And you can click up to like, usually it's 3 or 4 per wallet at max. And then you click mint and that's it. And now you own that NFT. Another word I missed, I'm editing this right now and I just noticed, is doxed. So fully doxed means fully public. Like, you know who this person is. You can find them on like Google, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever. If they're pseudo-anonymous, that means they have a Twitter account, but you can't find their actual identity. And fully anonymous means you just like nothing, you know? Okay, next we got blockchain. I'm going to explain this very simply too. Blockchain is simply online receipts, right? It's just saying, hey, this happened. This is when it happened. This is how much it costed. This is who it happened with. Period. That's really it. Everything's trackable on the blockchain. Everything is tracked on the blockchain. If you do some illegal shit, you're going to get caught. 100% you will get caught. I know everyone's thinking, oh, I got away with it. It happened 6 months ago. When crypto becomes regulated and lawyers and FBI come after you, you need to think about that. If you're pumping and dumping on people because you're an influencer and you need to really, really rethink that, because we're heading toward regulation fast. What is Etherscan? I'm sure you guys have heard of this. I only use Etherscan mainly to check the amount of holders in NFT projects. So you want to have as many unique holders of an NFT project as possible, because more holders mean less whales. What are whales? Whales are someone who own like way too much of something, right? So if, for example, the Side of Light NFT that I own from Espa Visuals, I hold 4 or 5 or 6 of them, and I'm going to give 2 of them away, and I have 4 left over basically after that. I'm technically a whale because there's only 50, and I had at one point 7 of them. Now the goal, to be fair and decentralized, is to not have this happen. So for me, I at some point want to just have one Side of Light because I want people to own the project, but I'm not most people. Most people have the opposite mindset. They have a very, very selfish way of thinking. They want to like they get to dictate the price. If they want the floor to drop, they'll sell 5 of them really cheap, and people go, oh, the price is down, I guess I'll sell mine too, and then they'll go and swoop in and buy some more at an even lower price. So you need to really, really be aware of what the fuck whales are, and if whales are the thing that are really, you know, manipulating the market. Like I think Dogecoin has someone with like 30% of the entire amount of Dogecoin in their one wallet, meaning if they decide to sell everything at once, then, you know. Okay, what's a decentralized wallet? I'm sure you guys have heard of MetaMask, maybe the Phantom wallet. MetaMask and Phantom wallet, they're just decentralized wallets. It's basically a non-bank bank account, right? And so MetaMask technically acts as your bank, but it is all you. There's no person that can get your password back if you forget it. You have a seed phrase that you're given. You never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, ever give anybody anything to do with your MetaMask or any wallet that you have. The only thing you are allowed to give them is your public address. That is there to copy and paste, like pretty much on the homepage of your MetaMask. It'll say like OX, like a bunch of letters and numbers. You can click copy. You're allowed to share that with anybody. It doesn't matter if anyone sees it. That's a public wallet address. Your private key, if that is ever leaked, if you have a picture of it in your phone and you get hacked and you lose that and someone else gets access, you will lose everything. And while we're on that topic, actually, if you connect your wallet to a scam website, which is happening all the time, you guys should know about this, they will take everything you have. So it's very, very important to only go to official Twitter accounts, only go to official Twitter accounts, only go to official Twitter accounts. I said it 3 times because people are getting scammed every fucking day, and it's your fault. It's literally your fault if you get scammed. Everyone knows how to not get scammed. You go to their official Twitter and you only go to those links. Always. Notice how I didn't mention Discord. Discord's been getting hacked every fucking day. I like Discord, but I don't trust Discord entirely. I always double check any announcement that's big that say, oh, like we're minting early. You need to really, really consider if that's true or not. It's probably a hack. Always double check with their Twitter. Crypto NFT taxes. Yes, these are real. You're probably going to want to save a little bit more than you think. And you're probably going to want to hire an NFT. I know there's a crypto NFT like company that does taxes. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I am going to be using someone like that. The good thing is a lot of the big exchanges, they'll give you your tax form basically, and it'll have like your profit and how much you owe, like Robinhood, Coinbase, Voyager, all those platforms. But if you're using like Trust Wallet or PancakeSwap or something like that, you're gonna have to come up with that shit on your own, which sucks. Who are some good people to follow? Who are some good influencers that you should be following? JRNY Crypto, Tony Spark, he's really, really good. He's just calm. He doesn't shill. He doesn't do a bunch of stupid bullshit. Benjamin Cohen for technical market analysis for crypto. NFTverse for NFTs. Giancarlo for NFTs. I like that they're not just huge on promotional stuff and they're just very chill. I like watching them. And the Bitcoin Express, he just has very, very similar videos to me. Education focused, not promotion focused. All these guys I just listed are very chill. They're people that I follow. I don't stop watching every NFT YouTuber. Stop watching all of them. Okay, pick 4 max and watch them. Stop watching everybody. Stop watching 75 different 1000x coins. You literally will not learn anything in a 1000x coin NFT. Like you might learn 1 or 2 flipping strategy stuff, but you're gonna learn a lot more watching videos like this, watching videos from the people I just like talked about, and that's something you need to focus on long term. If you want to win long term, you gotta learn and like actually educate yourself and not just take fucking chances and buying stuff because X YouTuber said to. Which leads me into my next topic. How do I get started? What is the first step? First step is watch my YouTube videos. Second step is follow everyone I'm following on Twitter. And the third step is not to buy NFTs. It is just to be patient. You don't have to buy NFTs right now. You're not late. In fact, you're too early right now. You're literally too early because if you're buying in now, it's stupid. You should wait until the market crashes, or you should wait until NFT volume and activity drops a little bit, and you can check that. Just type in OpenSea volume and activity, DApp radar, click on that, see where the volume is. If it's really low and everything looks like shit, then you go, okay, if there's a project that I like, this is the time to buy. Otherwise, if you think you missed it, or here's what I think, if you don't know anything and you're a beginner right now, if you're watching this and you're a beginner, do not buy anything for the next 3 months. Wait for this crazy market to crash, then buy. The chances of you getting rich this year are almost 0. The way you get rich is by buying in the bear market back in the summer, and you hold throughout the whole summer, and then you make the life-changing gains. That's how you win. All right, what are blue chips? Blue chip NFTs are the ones that are gonna make it long-term. Blue chips are just like the ones you wanna hold. You wanna get into those if you can. Save your money and buy into blue chips. What are blue chips though? Which ones should you be buying? The ones that are focusing on brand. I already talked about them earlier in this video. That's a good place to start. Look at those projects that you see putting in a lot of work on their socials and also putting hard work in behind the scenes. Those are the projects you wanna keep your eye on, but don't buy them. Wait till the market crashes and then you buy them. Okay, what's a DAO, whatever you call it. I still can't say. I don't know how you say it. DAO is a voting system. It's just saying, hey, we want to make a decentralized like voting system. Like we don't want to decide. We want this to be decentralized, a democracy. That's all it is. The phrase probably nothing basically is saying like, oh, like look at all this shit we're doing. Probably nothing, but it's like, this is dope. Like it's basically the opposite. Okay, Rarity Tools and Nansen AI. These are 2 websites I used a lot when I first started. I actually haven't used them much at all because my strategy has changed so much and I'm focusing on content. Nansen AI is still worth it in my opinion. You get to check the big whales, you get to check volume, you get to check notable buyers. And Nansen AI is a good tool, but it's also $150 a month. Rarity Tools is where you find upcoming projects. I've pretty much given up on this website because all the projects suck pretty much, and I don't find many projects through here anyways. I find them through other connections, through NFT Twitter, through Discords. That's where I find the bulk of my projects, so I don't use Rarity Tools anymore. Nansen AI is good to have if you have a friend that has it. Just hop on their plan and just split it or something. Like, it's expensive. It keeps everything in one place. It allows you to track volume, activity, like who the best projects are, but you can also see most of that information just directly on OpenSea by going to their volume and activity and like their ranking and their stats and all that. So you don't have to have an instant AI. It just depends on your goal. If you're looking to flip and you're gonna be a flipper, you pretty much need it. Okay, what's a rug pull? A rug pull is when a project pulls the fuck out and they say, fuck you guys, peace, we took all your money, goodbye. When that happens, you lost all your money, period. That's it. That's it. They took all the liquidity. It's worth nothing. You got fucked. It happens. I haven't been rug pulled yet, but I might as well have been. There's a lot of projects that have pretty much gone to zero, which I'll consider a rug pull because it's like, okay, they basically just gave up. But yeah, rug pulls mainly come from new mints. So if you're dabbling in mints, you gotta have a lot of money and you have to pretty much accept that this could go to zero. And I have no idea because mints, all speculation, guys. 100% speculation. You don't know who these people on the team are. There's a reason I invest in projects with very experienced teams versus projects without experienced teams, because people without experience have never really ran a business, especially through a bear market, and they just don't know what to do. They're not gonna know what to do. They haven't done it before, and it's very fucking important for buying a project that's gonna be a blue chip. Okay, what's the metaverse? The metaverse is basically Avatar. If you've seen Avatar, if you've seen Ready Player One, if you've seen any game or any movie where there's a character in a game that technically doesn't exist, it's like a video game world, that's literally where we're headed. All those pictures you saw and videos of like what the world's gonna be like in 100 years, flying saucers, like we're all flying in the world, like we can do whatever we want, that's the metaverse, okay? The metaverse is basically game world, but VR. It's gonna be crazy, and this is where your NFTs kick in, because you're able to use your NFTs as avatars. As if there's a game that you want to play in the metaverse, you'll have to have those NFTs. A lot of them can play to earn, so you can make money. There's a lot of things coming from the metaverse. There's not really a way to put it. Go on YouTube right now, actually after this video, and type in Facebook metaverse video and click that one, and it's gonna have like Facebook's video of what they think the metaverse will look like. Okay, what is PFP? Profile picture. That's all it is. Usually on Twitter, PFP collection is like an NFT project focused on, we want this picture to be like your profile picture, and that's important for building brand, but it is not everything. Bull markets. Bull market is good, positive, going up. Bear market is opposite. Shit's down, everything's cheap. This is typically when you should be buying, but this is when everyone's not buying. Everyone typically buys in the bear market because they're like, oh, I put in $5 and it's worth $8 now. If you want to be rich, you buy in the bear market. So for me, I don't buy much in bull markets. Unless I already bought, I'll be taking my profits out in the bull market. So if you want to be rich, you buy during the bear market and you keep buying throughout the whole bear market. Just wait and think long term. Remember, if you just hold out, hold on to your investments, you're picking good projects, you will be so rich if you hold all the way. All right, we're on the last few. Higher lows. Higher lows is just every time the market crashes a little bit, it's a little bit higher. So for example, use Dogecoin. Dogecoin's doing this. It has a big rally, drops off again, but it doesn't drop all the way down to what it was. It drops a little bit and stops and goes up again. And this time it stops here. And this time it stops here. And every time it's getting better. So higher lows is a good thing. It's a very good thing for a project. Tokens, tokenomics. Simply explained, tokens is just an idea. It's speculative. Most projects aren't going to work. Tokens is basically an IOU for, we'll exchange this at some point for something else. This is something you need to be very careful of. Most projects' tokens will be worthless. All right, guys, this is the final thing. If you're still asking yourself, what should I buy? If that's the kind of question you're thinking of, I don't know which one to buy, that question should not exist in your vocabulary when you start to buy. What you should do is research and apply your knowledge and figure out what those projects are based on the things that you know about what should be a good project. And then you just invest with conviction. You ask your friends, you see if people you're following follow them, you see if they have a good team. That's how you find it. If you ask me what's a good project, it's going to be different than Joe Schmo over there who's trying to flip projects, because we look at different things. I have a different blueprint of things that I want in a project before I invest my money. I'm not looking to make money from NFTs. I'm not. That's not what I'm doing in NFT land. I'm looking to navigate the metaverse, as I say. I want to run around metaverse and be fucking happy and be excited and have cool NFTs. I'm not looking to make money on NFTs. I make money elsewhere. I can make money elsewhere. I have no problem with that. If you're looking for NFTs to change your life from a money standpoint, you really, really need to ramp up the education and research part of your thing. If you're FOMOing in and out of stuff, you're gonna lose more money than you make, guaranteed. And you also need to remember, if you're buying on OpenSea on the Ethereum blockchain, you need to have a lot of money because you're gonna spend thousands of dollars on gas fees alone, and some gas fees fall through. All right, guys, that's really it. We just covered pretty much all of NFTs. If there's anything I missed, please drop it in the comments below. I would love to make a part 2 or go live and answer some questions. If you wanted to see more in-depth stuff about this stuff, just let me know down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned anything, smash that thumbs up button so I know. I'm putting out so many videos. It only takes 1 second. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And until next time, continue on your Joyage, continue to learn, and be grateful you're alive watching this video.